Okay, hello class. Today we are going to be talking about violence, prevention. Okay, now I have about 5 books out of the spaghetti and a hot dog bun book. So we're going to break up into lit circles. Since there's 20 of us, I just head counted. I want 4 people inside of a group since there's 5 books. And while you're inside of your groups, make sure you're staying on task. I want you to keep in mind main characters and key concepts inside of the book. And either I can split you guys up or you can do it yourselves, although I know which one you're going to choose. But if you guys do split yourselves up into groups, make sure you're on task because if I come around and you guys are lollygagging, talking with your friends, I will separate you and put you into a different group. So you can get into your groups, and I'm gonna give each group about 15 minutes to discuss and dialogue with each other about the book. It's not that long of a book, so it shouldn't take that long. And make sure you're staying on task, please. Alrighty, and go ahead and move around. And I don't need everyone talking either. You shouldn't hear too much talking, you guys. Alrighty, you guys. I'm not hearing too many people talking anymore, so I guess you're done. So we can move on. Now I'd like you to put the books back up on the reading desk. And then I'm going to also need for you guys we're going to do inside outside circles. So since there's 20 of us, which is great, it's an even number, I want 10 people on that inside circle and then 10 people on the outside circle. Doesn't matter who's where, you guys. And you already know the deal, so partner up with whoever's in front of you. Okay? So, while you guys were doing your lit circles, I wrote down these 3 questions that I want you guys to dialogue about, while you're inside of your inside out circle. So the first question, how do you believe the main character felt in the story? So she had to deal with a lot of different aspects as far as people bullying her, not really being too nice to her, basically judging her for, different kind of things that she did, like how she wanted to do the toast with the ketchup. And then have you ever been into a situation similar to that? So So has anybody ever judged you or kind of made you feel bad based on something that you liked that maybe that they didn't? And then what would you do if you were in that situation? So right now you can start to dialogue and you can talk with your partner that you're already facing now. Ask yourself these three questions, and then in a couple of minutes, I'm going to have you switch, and I'm going to have the outside circle rotate, not the inside circle. The inside circle stand still. Okay. Now I'd like the outside circle to move 5 to the left. 5 people to the left, and ask yourself these three questions. Okay. Now move 3 to the right. You dialoguing on these questions. Okay, and now move 9 to the left. So 9 people to the left. You should have a partner standing in front of you. So count over 9 people. Perfect. And okay. So now what I need everyone to do is take your seats and take out your notebooks, because we're going to be taking notes over a couple of definitions. And it's important that you're taking notes on these definitions, because at the end of it, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and it's going to be on a 10-point quiz. So it's very important that you're paying attention and asking me questions if you don't understand some of the definitions, because otherwise you will not do well on the quiz. Okay, the first definition is harassment. Okay. Harassment is aggressive pressure or intimidation. So that's the definition of harassment. Make this into a big H. Then we have abuse. Okay, an abuse is to use something to a bad effect or for a bad purpose. So a good example of abusing something, even something minor, when I'm having you get out, take notes, if you're doodling or talking to one of your friends while we're trying to do note taking, that's an abuse of my time, your time, and of using, your pen and paper for something other than note taking. So that would be an example of an abuse. Next word. Bully. Bullies use And a bully uses superior strength or influence to intimidate. So this may be someone who they don't necessarily have to be stronger than you. They can be older than you, or they can be um, just different. Someone who's on a different playing field than you are. So they could be above you, maybe I don't know, academically, or just in a variance of types of ways. But they're using that to intimidate you and make you do things that maybe necessarily you don't want to do or things you don't like to do. That's what a bully is. Okay, so hazing. This is the imposition of a strenuous task, often as a part of a program or club. So someone who might haze you. For example, there might be like some secret things that you have to do to be a part of the club, or you basically have to do something that's not necessarily the nicest thing, but you have to do it if you want to get inside of the club. And it's someone who's superior to you. So it's someone who's above you, holds rank in something, or basically will tell the other person what to do, so you can be initiated, so you can be a part of the club. And then the last one is hate crimes. And then the last one is hate crimes. And it's a crime motivated by racial, sexual, or other prejudice, typically involving violence. So by racial prejudice, if you're not doing you're doing some kind of violent crime to someone because of their race, and sexual because they're either a boy or a girl, you just don't like boys, you don't like girls, or any other type of prejudice, any reason why someone would do something that's motivated by like hate or anger, that's an example of a hate crime. So what I'm going to have you do, you should have been writing these all down while I was writing them down on the board and kind of explaining them and going over them with you. But what you're going to want to do is for each of these, you're going to want to give me an example of a situation that's like harassment, that has abuse in it, has a bully in it, has hazing in it, or has a hate crime in there. And I want you to make sure you give me a very good example, and you're going to put it into your own words. So it can't have any of these keywords that I've already written down for the definitions. So that's why it's good to take notes so you can get an idea and you can kind of shape them into your own words. So you're going to label them 1 through 5, and I want an example of each. So each one of those words we went over, and I'll leave them up there for a second so you guys can know and go over them. but you already should have written these definitions down. So I'm only gonna leave them up for a couple more seconds, and then I'm gonna start the next portion. So 1 through 5, example of each, and give you about 10 minutes. Okay. And then when you're done, I need pencils down and papers turned over and then waited to be collected. Okay. And the last portion is really easy. What I want you guys to do, so I want you to take paper and I want you to fold it up pamphlet style. So you're gonna want to take one of them in like this, regular piece of notebook copy paper, and then take them like that. And it should be pamphlet style. Okay? Just like this. So when you open it up, there's 3 sections for you to write on. I'm going to write down key resources that you guys can use, phone numbers and websites, and you're going to want to label them inside of your pamphlet. So if you run out of no room, there's another section, and you can use the back. This is for your personal use, so be writing these down. Okay, so these are just a couple of resources. Now, these are resources for if you're not in school and you can't come and talk with me, because I'm your first line of defense if you feel like there are any situations where it requires you to tell someone. So any of the things that we talked about, the bullying, the harassment, the abuse, the hate crimes. In your first line of defense, you can come and speak with me. My door is always open. You can also go to the principal or the nurse if you're experiencing any of those kind of situations. Those are safe zones too. Also, your parents or guardians, whoever you go home with later on at night. But you also need to make sure if it's occurring in school, any of those topics we talked about, you need to let someone at the school know. So, in conjunction with your parents, you need to also let someone at school know. But these are resources, and these are all 24 hours, 7 days a week. So I want to make sure you guys have the best resources possible. So if you ever feel you're like you're in that type of situations, these pamphlets that I'm having you write all this information down, which you're going to save and put in your desk, you'll always have with you. So the crisis call center, it's 1-800-273-8255. And you can also text, because I know you guys are texters now, you can text the word answer to 839863. And then another resource is Cyber Tip Line. So this is for cyberbullying. If you feel like you're online and you see someone being cyberbullied or you yourself are being cyberbullied, here's a national hotline to call. It's 800-843-5678. And you can also go online to their website, which is www.cybertipline.com. Pretty straightforward. And then one of my favorite ones is the Child National Youth Advocacy Hotline. And this one's really great because all of these resources are really great, but this one you can call if you're having a bad day, call it if you want to have someone listen. So they are there for your resources. This is specifically what this hotline is dedicated to and for, so please use it. 800-872-5457, or you can call 1-800-USA-KIDS. It's the same one. I just wrote all the numbers down for you guys. And then their website, thursdayschild.org, and it's really interactive. They have a bunch of stories about, kids who might have gone through abuse or bullying or harassment. So all of this stuff is for violence prevention. When you see a situation or you encounter something like the main character did in our book, these are all wonderful, wonderful resources that you can use. So I want you guys to be able to find and pinpoint. That's why I wanted you guys to give examples. Find and pinpoint the problem, assess it, and based on that, you need to go to the proper authorities. So there are people who you can go to here at school, myself, the school nurse, the principal, one of the counselors, all resources inside school. At home, you talk to your parents about it, but as I said again, if it's a problem that's happening at school, you need to come and speak to a school personnel. And then these are ones if you're in crisis mode and no one's really there, an adult isn't really there to help you at that moment. These are perfect for violence prevention. So write all of these down, save them in your save the pamphlets, and stick them in your desk because they're for your use. So, and that's it for us right now. Okay.